Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottama devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nasta prayesva bhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati tamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki. So we are reading still from the 4th canto of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 4th chapter, verse 13. And it's not a controversial one, so I don't know what to say. I asked a devotee, and he said, you will figure out how to make it controversial. Hopefully not. Okay. Nascharya etadyad asatsu sarvada. Nascharya etadyad asatsu sarvada. Mahadvininda kunapatmavadishu. Mahadvininda kunapatmavadishu. Sarsyam mahapurusha padapam subir. Sarsyam mahapurusha padapam subir. Nirastate jasu tadeva shovanam. Nirastate jasu tadeva shovanam. Nascharya tadyadasatsu sarvada. Mahadvininda kunapatmavadishu. Sharsyam mahapurusha padapam subir. Nirastate jasu tadeva shovanam. Nascharya tadyadasatsu sarvada. Mahadvininda kunapatmavadishu. Padapam subir. Nirastate jasu tadeva shovanam. Nascharyametadhyaya satsu sarvada Mahadvininda kunapadmavadishu Sirsham Mahapurusha Padapam Subir Tinshasutadeva Shobhanam. Anyone else would like to try? Word by word. Na, not. Ascharyam, wonderful. Etat, this. Yat, which. Asatsu, evil. Sarvada, always. Mahadvininda, the deriding of great souls. Kunapa atmavadishu, among those who have accepted the dead body as a self. Sa irishyam, envy. Mahapurusha, of great personalities. Parapam subhi, by the dust of the feet. Nirasta tejasu, whose glory is diminished. Tat, that. Eva, certainly. Shobhanam, very good. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. It is not wonderful for persons who have accepted the transient material body as the self to engage always in deriding great souls. Such envy on the part of materialistic persons is very good, because that is the way they fall down. They are diminished by the dust of the feet of the great personalities. Please repeat. It is not wonderful for persons who have accepted the transient material body as the self to engage always in deriding great souls. Such envy on the part of materialistic persons is very good, because that is the way they fall down. They are diminished by the dust of the feet of great personalities. Purport. Everything depends on the strength of the recipient. For example, due to the scorching sunshine, many vegetables and flowers dry up, and many grow luxuriantly. Thus, it is the recipient that causes growth and dwindling. Similarly, Mahiyasam Padara Jobi Shekam, the dust of the lotus feet of great personalities, offers all good to the recipient, but the same dust can also do harm. Those who are offenders at the lotus feet of a great personality dry up, their godly qualities diminish. A great soul may forgive offenses, but Krishna does not excuse offenses to the dust of a great soul's feet, just as one can tolerate the scorching sunshine on one's head, but cannot tolerate the scorching sunshine on one's feet. An offender glides down more and more, therefore he naturally continues to commit offenses at the feet of great soul. Offenses are generally committed by persons who falsely identify with the impermanent body. King Daksha was deeply engrossed in a misconception because he identified the body with the soul. He offended the lotus feet of Lord Shiva because he thought that his body, being the father of a body of Sati, was superior to Lord Shiva's. Generally, less intelligent men misidentify in that way, and they act in the bodily concept of life. Thus, they are subject to commit more and more offenses at the lotus feet of great souls. One who has such a concept of life is considered to be in the class of animals like cows and asses. Omagyanatimirandasya kinanjana salakaya chaksurmeditam jena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha mukam karoti vachalam pangum langate girim yatkripatam ham vande Shri Guru Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya cha patitanam pavanavyo vaishnavyo namo namaha. So here is where is it? Kunapa Atmavadishu, among those who have accepted the dead body of the soul. Kunape Tridaduka. This body is made out of mucus, bile, and air. So those who have accepted the self as such thing, they have a dark future ahead of themselves, because they will make many mistakes and will commit offenses. And ignorance is not excuse, as Prabhupada will give the example of a child touching fire, even ignorant because of his age, that the fire will burn. Still, it will burn. So ignorance is not excuse. You may not know certain things, but that is your desire. You see, desire is an eternal thing. It comes with you. You will always have it, you always had it, you will never not have desire. And this is what distinguishes the individuals. And the desire can be material or spiritual. And material desire can never be fulfilled. That's in the small print. You can try, you can go to all 14 worlds and try to figure out how to fix that problem, that you have material desires. And they are never solved, because something else pops up. It's like an old house, like a very old house. You try to fix, there is something, there's a little bit of, a kind of a stain, and you want to just sand it and paint it. And when you sand it, you discover that there is actually mold. And then when you tear the wallpaper or whatever it is, you see that the mold is everywhere. So this is our condition, that we try to solve material things with material means, and it never works. The only solution is spiritual, is the case, as the body is a source of misery. Of course, it is difficult to convince somebody who doesn't believe in the soul, doesn't understand the higher self, that we are not the body. But those who are practicing devotional service, to whatever extent, they are to be understood according to Shastra, that they are already gone to all the places of pilgrimage, they have studied the Vedas and supplemental literatures, they have bathed in all the holy rivers, they've chanted all the mantras, they practice all the yoga systems, more or less there's a full agenda already covered. And now they can, if they choose to do so, obtain some peace by chanting the Maha Mantra and get out of this world. It's very difficult to obtain any type of happiness without peace. That's why the achievement of a mode of goodness is recommended, because from a mode of passion it's very difficult to achieve transcendence, and from a mode of ignorance it's impossible. It's just not happening. Someone is totally intoxicated. It's like a dream within a dream within a dream. You'll never wake up from that. You may wake up from one dream or two, but not from all the other ones. So we are actually subject to misery and illusion in this world. And this may be a pessimistic outlook, but it's a very realistic one. Look around you, not here. We have some happy people here, but look around you everywhere else. People are miserable. I always say, if you want to see the face is an index of a mind. So if you want to see how people really are, just look at their face, but look at their face when they are not expecting you to see their face. So a bus stop is is an ideal place, because people are just waiting for the bus and they're not actually connecting to how should I look, who am I flirting with, or, they're not projecting anything. They're just at a bus stop. So that's when you see people are. And when you see people at a bus stop, they look miserable. All of them. They have a sour face. Their mind is just driving them wildly. And it's like a motocross race. Everybody's going through it. And there is no peace. There is no end to that. There is no peace until Krishna consciousness is attained, to whatever extent. And Krishna gives relief pretty much immediately to the devotees. Those who start practicing devotional service, they feel this sense of, it's like a burden has been taken off their shoulders. Like you carry, it's like when you're overweight and you get used to that, right? And you just walk around as if everything is okay, but all of a sudden you just go on a diet or, practice severe exercise or get sick or whatever the reason, and you lose 25, 30 pounds. All of a sudden you realize, wow, I was carrying 25 pounds of flour on my shoulders for the last 10 years. It's amazing. It's like, and you can see the comparison. As soon as you just are able to walk and you're fine. Somebody puts a bag of 25 pounds of flour on your shoulders. Say, go ahead, walk around with it all day. It's like, no, I can't do that. But you've been doing it. So, no matter what type of misery we experience, we get used to it. That's the nature of Maya. The Maya tells you, it's okay, you're a big boy, you can do this. Or you're a big girl. Yes, you can handle that. And you get used to anything. Not that you like it, but you get used to it. Just like people who are in a unfortunate situation, like capture by an enemy army, and they're tortured to reveal some information, some crucial information. And they are tortured for months. They eventually get used to it. They don't like it from day one until they are released or killed, but they get used to it. So we have been captured by the enemy. Surprise, surprise. Maya got a good hold of us, and we are getting used to all the curveballs and knuckleballs that Maya is throwing at us constantly. We get used to it. We're getting beat up and shamed and tortured, literally, by Maya. Daily. Maya uses the means of the mind and the false ego, which is a lot more painful than the body as well. Much more painful. Or a bewildered intelligence. And then it's hard to recover. There are no crumbs leading us back to the origin. So this is a great mercy of great souls that they come to this world to deliver us, to give us the GPS coordinates to how to get back. Now, Daksha, here, Sati is being quite sarcastic in her comment. She says, it is not wonderful for persons who have accepted the transient material body as a self to engage always in deriding great souls. It's not wonderful. It's just something. But such envy on part of materialistic persons is very good. She says very good. Envy is good. Because it will degrade them. In other words, material nature will separate them from the rest. So this is what happens. You cut yourself off from the association of devotees by deriding great souls. And this is what Daksha, head on, started from a very beginning. He had a material conception. He thought, okay, I am the father of a bride, so I should have a status which is higher than the groom, right? Makes sense. But if the groom is Lord Shiva, then there is no more logic there. Because great souls are exceptions to the rule. Great souls, they don't have to adjust to the laws of material nature. They are under the jurisdiction of Krishna directly. Just like when devotees are practicing devotional service. When they are practicing real bhakti, they are under the jurisdiction of Krishna. And if they are not, they are cutting themselves off. It's like you're holding on for dear life of Krishna's lotus feet. And Maya is hanging from your feet and just trying to pull you off. So guess what? If you let Krishna go, you're not free. Maya got you. She's holding on to your feet for dear life herself. That's her job. That's what she does. People have unfortunate jobs for living. Some people drive a garbage truck, and some people are butchers, and some people are politicians, and other unfortunate jobs. And Maya has a bad job. I don't think she asked for it, but Krishna empowered her to do that. And Maya's a devotee. It's not just a bureaucrat that loves to see people suffer. Not at all. Maya, matter of fact, is kind of a trainer, at the material world's gym. She just makes you sweat and suffer and come on, you can do it. You can do some more until you develop enough spiritual muscle to pick up the weight that she's exacting you to. And this is a tailor-made program. It's not, the trainer is giving a particular regimen to each one of us according to our capacity. It's not going to have a 77-year-old lady, 87 pounds soaking wet to, start bench pressing 400 pounds. That's not going to be the program. It's going to give her exactly the weight that she needs to develop muscle. And if you're strong, or if you think you're strong, that's a bad approach, because then Maya will give you a lot of weight and prove to you that no, you're not that strong. You're very weak. Our strength comes from within, comes from the soul and the super soul. And everything else is up for grabs and debatable. We cannot afford to stop the regimen that Krishna, through the material energy, is giving us, because that's what's making us strong. That's what's making us survive this embate of material desires and this hankering and lamentation, this lack of peace, that all the things that happen in the world, you're ridiculed sometimes you're vilified, sometimes you're praised. But we should see all of them as the same. This is all a trick. So, if you fall for it, then your false ego won. Just simple as that. If you think, people don't give me enough respect. No, you lost. You lost. If you think, I'm so low, I'm not capable of this or that, unless it's a spiritual sentiment, that's also Maya's trick, making you feel that you're incapable of doing certain things. Like some people leave Krishna consciousness thinking it's not for me. I'm not strong enough, or the strength was never yours to begin with. The strength is given by Krishna and the Guru. You don't have any strength. You barely can be coherent at times. So this is all tricks of Maya. That sometimes you get praised, sometimes you get vilified, sometimes you get demonized, sometimes you get ignored. All these things are the tricks of Maya to keep you away from devotional service. Why is that? It's because it's a very unique situation. Because if you actually achieve devotional service, you will conquer the unconquerable, Krishna. So Krishna is not so keen on just revealing himself and, telling you all his secrets and making you join his inner circle, if you're not ready for it, if you don't want it. So Maya will try to either make you strong or keep you away from Krishna. Because Krishna doesn't want to hang out with lazy bums, with people who want to stay in the material world and be Krishna. That's why, if you get even a glimpse of devotional service, you should consider yourself the most fortunate person, because you will conquer Krishna, who is not conquered by anyone, not conquered by any other process. Imagine you have a father and mother, and you desire to please them and to get him to love you and give you everything. So how would you approach that situation? Would you just meditate on them or practice austerities so they see that you're suffering? Your parents don't want that for you. They just want your love, unrequited, unsolicited, anytime, just like they have it for you. I'm talking about healthy parents. So Krishna wants our healthy love. And we have kind of a mixture of, yes, I want to love Krishna, but I also want this and that. I want fame, I want recognition, I want followers, I want beautiful women or handsome men. I want to be the richest man on earth, or I want to be loved by everybody. That's unnecessary. Krishna is already that. Krishna is the richest. He has everything. So what would Krishna need from us that he doesn't have? What is the gift for someone who has everything? Is love. That's the only thing that he needs from us that he doesn't have, because it's a voluntary act. So this is what we have to work on. And in order to achieve that kind of position where actually Krishna notices you, or Radharani tells Krishna about you, you have to kind of neglect, forget, give up, work on leaving behind all these other things that we have on the side. Like, I want to love Krishna, but I also want to be recognized as a lover of Krishna. Or I want to sing for Krishna, but I want people to notice that I'm a good singer. I want to build a temple for Krishna, but I want a plaque with my name to be right outside of it. All those little details that we carry with us, that they are not exactly pure. You have to give them up. And we have time. I mean, the process is perhaps slow for some, fast for others, but we have to consider that we have gone a long way. Where were we in our last appearance in the material world? Did we even have a human body? Were we able to attend a class, sing in kirtan, or see the deities? So this is a rare chance that we actually do have a choice, an opportunity to practice devotional service unimpeded and read the scriptures, discuss them with the devotees, chant our rounds, chant kirtan, to have loving exchanges with those who are dear to Krishna. So this is a very rare opportunity, and we should not miss it. And here is poor Daksha, poor in the sense of, he got so much opulence and so much power that even other sages and demigods give him all the respect. But this should soon be over. He will get a goat head. That's his reward for being who he is. Like, imagine you thought, oh, I have it all together. I'm Ishwaroham Maham Bogi, Sidoham Balaban Sukhi, I'm perfect, powerful, happy, I've defeated all my enemies, nobody can touch me now. And then tomorrow you wake up and there are feathers flying out of your pillow because you have horns, because you have a goat head. That wouldn't be a good discovery, I don't think. So this is what happened to Daksha. All that respect, all those sacrifices that you had to do, one sacrifice in order to do the other, the Brihaspati sacrifice, and they were useless because they didn't take him anywhere. They just took him to degradation. Of course, because Krishna and his devotees are involved in the Bhāgavatam, there is always a happy ending of some sort. That okay. So even Hiranyakashipu got Lord Nrsimhadev to visit him. That's nice. I mean, it was kind of a quick and painful visit, but God himself to take care of him. So we are not in the Bhāgavatam. We are not in this 12th canto Bhāgavatam or in the demigods version of the Bhāgavatam with many more cantos. We are probably not going to be there. It's not going to be a pastime. We are just tiny, insignificant, and learning from others' experiences. So, as Prabhupada said, first-class person learns from other people's experience. Second class learns by their own experience. And third class never learns. So, at least we should be second class trying to go to first class. Read the Bhagavatam and see what happened when you do this, what happened when you do that. So don't follow the footsteps of Daksha and people like Hiranyakashipu, that our desires may not be as gross as theirs. Like Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to be the boss of all that exists. Basically, he wanted to be the ruler, and he can't be because that post is taken. There's Shuridam Sarvabhutanam. Krishna is the friend, is the well-wisher, is just the possessor. He got all of it. We don't have a chance with any of that. And we will not be satisfied with any kind of material benediction. No matter if it is gross or subtle. If you had a big house and servants, to take care of you, still you won't be happy. It wouldn't, because it's not your nature to be the Lord of anything. You should be the Lord of your senses. That will be a good start. That's like, I think Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, don't try to become a hero. And a hero is a person who can control their senses. That's a real hero. If you think you're a hero because you saved somebody from drowning, no, you're not. You just happen to be there at the right place at the right time. A real hero is someone who actually is confronted by Maya and wins the battle. And there is no way to win a battle against Maya. Maya is overwhelmingly stronger and more powerful than any of us and all of us combined. But because Maya has a job, Maya is actually training us to become stronger. She gives us more and more challenges, and it increases. As the challenges, as we pass a certain level and think, okay, the challenges of having to chant my rounds is over. Yeah, but then how about chanting attentively? How about chanting with love? There's always another step. So you think you cross the ocean of material suffering, but you haven't. You just pass a test, and there is another test awaiting you, and it may be stronger, may be more difficult. But because you have that spiritual muscle that you've been cultivating, then you can actually lift that. You can actually pass through that test. So don't think you are being weakened by Maya. On the contrary, you're becoming stronger. Just like a weightlifter may lift a lot of weight, and then you give the guy, after he comes out of the gym, you give him a cup of water to drink, and the guy is shaking. You think, oh, this guy is weak. No, it's not weak. He was lifting enormous amount of weight, and now, because he tore muscle, he's actually, not able to control it. But give him a couple of days to recover. He is going to be able to actually lift even more weight. So don't think you are being weakened by Maya. On the contrary, you are actually being built up, and you will be able to withstand more of the embates of material nature. And by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, you may be able to have a smooth ride, or may not. But either way, the test is there to be passed. You actually have the capacity to pass every test that Maya throws your way. That's how the deal is. It's not that Maya will give you something that is so hard that you will never be able to pass. On the contrary, there's always a possibility that you cross if you take shelter, if you do the right thing. So, don't be an offender. And if you have to offend, don't offend a great soul. Just like we were talking about anger a few weeks ago. Anger, and a few days ago as well. It's a hot topic. Everybody gets angry. There is anger. Prabhupada said, there is anger in everybody. So this anger can be utilized. Just don't use it against great souls. Use it against those who offend great souls, and then you will be safe. Okay. 8:46. We'll open up for questions, comments, reflections. You want to switch there?
Yeah, like this point you shared about if you think you're strong, then you'll be giving something that, well, basically it reminded me of pride coming before the fall. If you think you're strong, you're not going to be able to handle that weight. So that phrase, pride coming before the fall. I was thinking of Arjuna, how he was strong on all levels, a very strong person. At the same time, I was seeing the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. He just wanted to put Krishna when he expressed Karpana Varsho Tasvabhava Dharma Samuttajita. He was bewildered, didn't know, which way to go.
Put it closer to you, man.
And just completely emotionally bewildered, feeling weak. He said weakness of heart, eyes of weakness. And in that condition, then he said, now I'm going to take your instruction. And so I just appreciate the points that if we're thinking that, I'm strong, I can do it, we won't, there's only certain, 25-pound bag, no matter how strong one is, eventually you're going to go down. Whereas with like Arjuna, to vulnerably see, wow, actually I'm feeling weakness of heart, I'm bewildered. And then from there, his surrender to Krishna, receiving Krishna's instruction, and at the end of the Gita, there's this kind of confidence, this clarity. No, I'm clear about what I need to do. And Krishna said, now take what I've given you, now you do with it as you wish. And Arjuna was very clear, very convinced. So I was appreciating that point. And the other one was about Gopala Chakra, who offended Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur is putting like Shakti Puja, paraphernalia, wine and meat and stuff in front of his door. And then Srivas Thakur was like, yeah, I'm just a Shakta, I'm not much of a devotee. But I was just visualizing the dust from his feet, like running off, going after Gopal Chakra.
Intervene on your behalf and do the homework for you. So after he was weak, Gata Sumcha, after he dropped the bow, after he changed his mind, after he lamented, they had to kill his own kinsman, after seeing the universal form, after hearing everything from Krishna, and after hearing the final instruction that you become my devotee, surrender to me, and I'll take care of you, still Krishna didn't finish it there. It's a different that's a director's cut of Krishna's movie. You see, other people would have ended at 1866, would have been the last verse. But no, Krishna went over and said, okay, we got that out of the way. No, you got it. You understood what I said. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And Arjuna said, oh, yeah, I got it. I'm good. I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow through. So don't think this is just one instance. I mean, in one sense, it is very unique that Krishna personally instructs Arjuna. I mean, only that was done before millions of years to the sun god. But, Krishna usually doesn't become a substitute teacher and comes and, gives one class and then just goes. So this was a special case, but we all have we have the example of Arjuna and the Gita to base our lives and our decisions upon, but we will have our own teaching system that we actually will have to learn from the lessons that we get what to do. And even when you make a decision, this is not like certain religions that, you sign on the dotted line and then you're saved, you're done. That's it. You accept Jesus within your heart, or you become a Jew or whatever. You turn into a Muslim or a Hindu or whatever, and you're done. You're done. This is a constant process that you have to make the same decision many times daily. Am I going to do Krishna's bidding, or am I going to just follow Maya's instructions? So this is a tough one. This is a postgraduate version of, like for example, when you go to college, you have professors and you have classes and you have this and that, and then you get a master's, then you still have you're taking classes and you have a committee, whatever. But when you get a PhD, you're on your own. You have a dissertation to build by yourself. You have to be self-motivated in order to get that far. So when you get to this point in Krishna consciousness, where you actually have to plan ahead and make decisions that will modify your entire life and change them and modify them and adapt them and keep making decisions day after day, moment after moment, then you're going somewhere. Now you're under the supervision of Krishna. He is the chairman of a committee that is going to overview your final graduation. So you're not in Maya's hands anymore. Maya is there, but if you're doing the right thing, she will keep a distance. She will keep a distance. Just like in the pastime of Haridas Thakur, when she realized that she couldn't get near Haridas Thakur, she couldn't make him fall down, she just kept a distance. So we should all aspire to be in that position where Maya is no longer grabbing a strong hold of our feet, having that strong grip, and just trying to pull us away. We should be actually so past that point that we just want Krishna. We don't want anything else. Nothing else would satisfy us. We have seen this before. We have seen it. Nothing but Krishna can satisfy us. That's why we are still around here. Because we have, all of us, even maybe not in this lifetime, but in previous lifetime, we have tried all of Maya's tricks and none of it worked for us. Yes. Yes. It's a big Halloween in the sky, You get a treat and you go back to Godhead. Or you get a trick and you get Maya. So, anything else? Yes, Prabhu.
As a quick reflection, I'm going to see He says, thanks for class. I like the examples you used to explain the points.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? Mother Nidra, please.
Thanks for the Sati saying how it's good to know that someone like Doctor himself, get that reaction or integration. So can you say something about, a lot of people question all this, all this misery, suffering, it's just the real actual goodness about it all. that when, like you're saying, when Maya leads the test, all these things are happening. To most people, it's just terrible. But what is, you can explain perhaps, how we can explain to the students how this is really, really good, actually.
This is thank you for the question. This is kind of an immunity process, that you build immunity. So if you don't get the misery, there's always a lingering thought that maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe that will make me happy. But Krishna doesn't let you get that far. If he favors you, that's why Prabhupada used to quote that verse constantly, not constantly, but very regularly. Yasyaham anugrihani harishe taddanam shanai. Like if Krishna, Hari means the one who can give you anything or can take everything away. If he favors you, especially, he'll take everything away from you. He will actually make you materially miserable. And then you will have no other shelter. You will actually have to surrender to Krishna. So that, in that sense, misery is good. That you may say, well, I'm never satisfied. It's just like an intervention. Someone may be, addicted to drugs or alcohol or sex or whatever the addiction may be. And the family wants to save this person from themselves, from their destructive path, but they can't until the person reaches bottom. Because until you hit the bottom, you can't go up. You're always going to go down. There is more and more. So if you are intelligent, then you don't have to experience this unsavory miseries that I was describing briefly. But most people are not. Manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagya upadita. Kalera dosha nire rajan. This age is bad, the people are bad, it's just, is a mess. And most people won't make the right decision. Therefore, misery is a good incentive to force people to make the right decision. And then when you reach bottom, then you're ready. Then you're ready to, please. You become vulnerable. You realize your weaknesses. You accept help from others that due to pride you wouldn't before. So this is, if misery comes our way, it's like an immunity. You're actually getting vaccinated against your own foolishness. And then you can make progress. But as long as there is room for you to become more foolish, that won't happen. So people who are in the process of becoming more foolish, they should take a good look and see that there is no future. I was fortunate that I didn't have to experience all of the miseries in the material world in order to turn to Krishna consciousness. I was miserable when I was a kid, so I had a good start. I had a good point to move from. I could actually start swimming upwards from the very beginning. So I didn't believe Maya's propaganda from a very early age. So I wasn't buying that. But most people are not very discriminating customers. They'll buy anything. Like there was a friend of mine that his father was totally addicted to watching infomercials. So much so that the companies would actually ship him stuff without even him soliciting, because they knew he was gonna buy it. You know, whatever it was, whatever kind of machine, machine that cuts potatoes into the shape of French fries and, whatever it was. And so he had a garage completely full of stuff that he never touched, never opened, never used. So we may not remember, like he didn't remember what he had. We may not remember, but we have a whole storage place full of stuff that we never use. We will never use, and it's not good for us. And we think, well, maybe if I get this other thing, maybe I can, but no, it won't work. It won't work. So to be miserable is actually a good start for most people, because then they can actually realize that, I haven't been successful, and just studying my pattern, I won't be successful because I will continue in the same vein with this addiction. We do have an addiction. We have an addiction to enjoy in the material world. Try to enjoy in the material world. That's an addiction. That's a very strong addiction that everybody has to one or other degree. Some are more subtle than others. Some people may be more refined about their taste, but it's still an addiction. Because if you're not transcendental, that means you still have stuff in your garage that you haven't used and you're not going to use, and you better not. I don't know what else to say. Do you want to add something? Okay. So, not to make you more miserable than you already are, we'll stop here. There you go. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.